Yo, what's Gucci guys? So today we're gonna be doing a tier list of the most agreeable Enneagram subtypes. Now we're gonna be using the big 5 facets of morality, sympathy, modesty, altruism, trust, and some bullshit. I think that's all, right? If it's not all, you get the motherfucking point. It's basically big 5. That's how we're scoring it. Now, guys, remember, this is just trying to evaluate the archetype of the Enneagram subtype. This doesn't mean that if you don't fit it, you are mistyped. No, again, big 5 has quite a bit of flexibility. It's actually extremely flexible. So this is just the archetypes, that's all. And it has been a bit tricky. But let's get into it and let's see what we got. So at the top, I think there's no need to even think about it. We get the social 9 and the sexual 9. Very obvious. They're extremely accommodating, people-pleasing, moralistic creatures that are very cooperative. Okay, makes sense, right? Very clearly. After that, I would actually argue social 4 deserves to be extremely high too. It's a very accommodating type, people-pleasing type that wants to really hides its anger or negative emotional expression in favor of people's good experiences, right? They don't want to bother people, they don't want to f with people, and they're very moralistic and quite altruistic. So I think at social 4, compared to all the other subtypes, they deserve to be in the S tier. A tier, I would actually say self-preservation 4. Extremely moralistic, quite cooperative, sympathetic character, dutiful person who wants to do good by others, right? They're driven to do good by others. And in fact, they're very scared of being bad. They're very scared of being seen as bad and not really living up to that ideal of goodness. And if they do, there's a lot of shame involved in that experience. So I think A tier for the SP4 makes perfect sense. SP1 could come next. Very, at least on the facets, right? I think when I was reading the one book, a bit of the one book, very dutiful type, right? Cooperative as And after that we have self-preservation 6. I mean, what the are we gonna do with this one? I would probably start with SP2 being more likely to be more agreeable than others, than sexual 2, and so I'm putting 2 cores quite high. Okay, now obviously a type like sexual 2, that's the one that you might probably speak the about. Oh, sexual 2, egocentric Chadwick. So guys, listen, you can be an egocentric sexual 2. There's no problem with that, right? As I said, there's no issue. But sexual 2 is a much more maternal type. Very good, very welcoming, very cheerful, very warm. Want to give you a good experience. Very people pleasing. Quite cooperative again. They start spurging the out when you don't give them love, when you kind of again reject them or make them feel bad. But they're quite adaptive people. I mean, 2 core in general, their whole strategy is not to be a bad guy, right? Social hyper adaptability. They don't want to be seen as bad. They want to be good boys, right? So being a good little fucking boy comes with a price, and that price is agreeableness. In the case of a sexual 2, I think modesty obviously would be quite fucking low. Probably that would be the facet that's low. The rest you can argue for something else. Social 2 though, that's probably the most egocentric 2 core, and they're still more agreeable than the egocentric, okay? I've seen people argue, oh, should they be egocentric? Should they be agreeable? I think they are more agreeable than egocentric, obviously, If you are a 2 core and you score extremely low on all of the facets, I think it's time to reconsider your type, okay? Either you are LARPing and you're playing pretend, or you are mistyped. That is simply not the nature of a 2 core. After that, I would probably put another FE-based sexual 3, when with sexual 3 probably not as altruistic as all the 2 cores, right? Then we have social 7, which I think makes a good candidate for agreeableness, and I think we also should have self-preservation 3 here. And I would put the elusive sexual 7. It's a mix. Some sexual 7s can be quite agreeable. Some sexual 7s are very disagreeable. Some are low agreeableness. So it's like, where do you put them? I guess some in the middle. Probably say maybe social 1. Social 8 is quite interesting. Again, it's kind of like in that it's probably not as much as the sexual 7, but there are people who argue, no, it should be agreeable, 100%. No, it should be egocentric, or whatever it might be. I think it's the most agreeable 8 core from all the 8s. And, you have a bit more leeway here. You have more freedom. More in the middle, where it's a split, where you're either egocentric or agreeable. SP9, I don't fucking know, right? SP9, I don't know, cooperative fuckers, right? For social 6 to be in C tier. Actually, when I'm thinking about it, I just changed that. right now, in the moment. Then I would probably put sexual 4 in the D tier. I'm sorry, guys, like, not a good look. We say, oh, sexual 4, that's the chaotic evil. Well, that fucking must be disagreeable as shit then. Then we have sexual 5, don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. And I don't give a shit, you know? Like, that's it, you know? 5 cores, yeah. I guess they're not as agreeable. Cool. Then I would put sexual 1. Then we have the fucking sexual 8, obviously, right? No other way around. The sexual 8 has to be egocentric. Then we have the charlatanistic motherfuckers, right? A lizard. Pure fucking lizardry. The Machiavellian of all. Then we have sexual 6 and self-preservation 8. So anyway, guys, that's my list. Show me yours. Anyway, guys, I'm out. Bye. Ciao. I'm bouncing.